Alright, so here today I have spent a crap ton of time because my chat told me on my stream, hey, GoGo, listen, I am down miserable, what's going to happen, am I screwed? And I got that comment at least 30, 50 times, 100 times during the stream, and comments recently been saying, I'm down miserable, how am I going to get this banner? So today, I'm going to break down the calculations for you. I spent extra time in this video to make sure I get it all correctly, because people are down miserable and really at a 0 point, where it's been a while since people really were at 0. I wonder, what did you summon for? Did you go all in on Freya? I told you, think with the right heads. I trusted you. I'm just kidding. But I summoned it, right? We all did. All right, calm down. We all did. So we're gonna make up for our mistakes here. Then let's jump into it. Like and subscribe helps out a ton. I got you. Leave a like. It helps out extra because I put a lot of time in this one. So yeah, please do that. First, keep in mind, over here on JP, this is what it looks like. 8/31 is when the banner expires. So on Global, that will be 9/5, which will be September 5th. That means, for all of you that can't do math, that is a 5-week banner. Keep that in mind. That is a 5-week festival. All right, write that down. Commit that to memory. That means that there's a very high chance you make it towards this one and fully summon. But you'll be screwed for the next banner. Yeah, that's true. You'll be screwed for the next banner, so just know that. So hopping in here, this is what it looks like. Keep in mind that if you're using this gem guide for whatever's next, let's say it's a collaboration, after, let's say Geld is next, as the part 2 banner, and then collaboration. Let's say that's the case, just for talking out loud, all right? If that's the case, you're screwed for both these banners, okay? Second, do not use the gem guide, this one right here, as any sort of synopsis for that one. You'll get screwed over. A lot of this gem guide revolves around summons that can only be used on Demon King. Correct? That's why I tell you they shafted you in this festival, because they gave you summons. If they gave you a currency like gems, that can be used anywhere you want to, and let's say you pull early, well, you don't have to dump anymore. Let's say you don't pull early, right? Then you're fine, but if you pull the Demon King on 2 multis, all these multis are a waste. You could have saved those gems, put them elsewhere, but you're forced to redump them into this banner, and potentially they'll make more money from you, because you'll go to 900. If you've already dumped 240 in, people will be like, you know what? At this point, let me just go 900, right? I'm already that deep into the banner. Let's say you did 200 gems, and then you got it, right? And then you just like say, all right, screw it, I'll do the summons, and then I'll summon last day and do it there. That's how they win on this one. If they gave you gems, it's a currency that works anywhere. That would have been the better thing, but they didn't, all right? So in this update, 240 of the gems that I will be sharing with you will come from summons. Keep that in mind. 30 of the gems will come from the boss that we just got, the new Knighthood, not new, but Knighthood boss system, which is this over here. 30 gems for this one. We will get 14 gems. I'll show it to you in a second, right here. And you will get 30 gems from story and 10 gems as a gift code thing, which will just be given to you in your inventory when you log into the game. We also have Final Boss Cusack, which I'm hoping you can't spend because it's not even in your inbox yet. I'm hoping you can clear it though. Not a difficult final boss, but a very annoying one, right? So it is true that you may not be able to. I highly recommend you try your best to achieve a high score, or at least just rank top 50, which is not too hard if you know what you're doing, okay? But I understand what you're trying to say. People can't beat it. But again, you'll have to remove these values yourself. I'm going to say a lot of people can beat it, so I don't have to do that. But if you can't, you got to deduct 40, and whatever you can't complete, you deduct that from this gem guide. That's how you'll do it. All right, with that, this is what the gem guide looks like, okay? I did a big breakdown on this one where I can give you all the values properly, all right? So first, dailies, PvP, Brawl, weekly login, Fort ZELDRIS missions, Knighthood. That is currently what I'll say for all of this stuff. That's what it looks like, okay? At the end of the day, theoretically, you can pick up a decent amount of gems over here. If you break it down of how much you're getting for Brawl, it's about 3 gems a week. That's like the math over there. But let's say in this case, you're not ranking high in Brawl because people keep saying, I can't rank like that. Let's say like that, because again, if you're getting like 2,000 currency, you're going to beat the Brawl shop pretty fast. You are, right? But let's just say you can't. Let's deduct that also, all right? Weekly login, you can do that. PvP, you should always be ranking at 50 gems. If you are ranking lower, you have to deduct that yourself. Reaching 50 is not too hard, or even reaching something like 44 is not too hard, okay? So try your best to achieve that number. Dailies over here is 30, okay? You can all do dailies, it's easy. Fort ZELDRIS missions, you can always do those. Recently, we've been getting some extra ones, so remember, I'm not counting those, just to keep a little bit of a fluctuation in the values. Knighthood, hopefully you can achieve a Knighthood login. If you can't, look for a Knighthood, or you'll have to, again, blank that out, right? That is true, so keep that in mind. Story, 35 gems, 100%. I think everybody can beat Story. If you can, you're walking away with 35 gems. Final Boss, if you're getting the clear reward, you're getting 40 altogether. You are getting 8, but I'm going to say you spent those. Let's do that to fluctuate the values here and there, so keep that in mind. Tower of Trials, we're not getting a new one, and we're going to have that removed, by the way. I have a wonderful guide that I took literally days and days to edit. I recommend to check it out. A lot of people told me it was like the greatest guide, so not to pat myself on the back, but I did take a lot of time to make that one, so I do recommend checking it out if you need it. It took me forever, so it should have been good. I took so long to make that guide, but I digress. Labyrinth. not coming out, but it should come out. Let's say Labyrinth does come out, that is 40 gems, and Labyrinth should launch over here because this is when Hero Arena ends. So you should be getting 40 gems here. But I do not want to gamble, so I'm going to say no. If it is, remember, most likely there will be a part 2, and in that part 2, you have to get some sort of gem currency. You have to. It always happens. You get 30-ish plus gems, all right? At some point, you have to get Labyrinth, so you could get 30, 40 gems. Remember that, all right? But I won't count it, so keep in mind it's another fluctuation value, okay? Next up. Knighthood has a new system where you can potentially get gems. So remember, at any point you can walk away with an extra 10 gems. I don't want to count that, but you could. In the summer update, you also got all those boxes. You could theoretically open them and say let's say you get 6 gems. You could. But again, I don't want to play with those values. Those numbers will always fluctuate. So realize I'm leaving breathing room on both sides. So if you mess up some things, you have some gems in the inside that I didn't count purposely to make sure everyone's fine. Got it? That's why I said I took forever to think this through, to make sure it's all correct. All right? Keep that in mind. So at the end of the day, what you're going to get is 10 gems every single week from Hero Arena. Why am I saying that is? You can complete Masters. Let's say you can't complete Masters. That number dumbs down to 8 a week, I believe. Correct? Which changes the value by basically, 10 gems? So keep that in mind. But I will say a lot of people can do Masters, so I'm aiming for that as the thing. But again, if you can't, just deduct by 10. That's all you're doing. Deduct by 10. Got it? That's there, okay? Moving forward, special weekly login. There's literally nothing of any sort in this thing to log in for, right? It's only the summons, which I'll show you in a second, which I have to count under free tickets because they're in the gem format of free tickets. They're only free tickets, right? Okay. Special boss battle. 30 gems will be given to you there. Fort ZELDRIS, over the course of 2 weeks, you will get, again, 14 gems. I put the 210 over here because it will take you 4 weeks to unlock all 210. So I just lump sum dumped them at the end. You will get the first multi for free on the day 1, basically. So I put that there. Keep in mind, that's about 240. So 240 of free summons, which is pretty good. And if you were to go just base values, which everybody can kind of do, unless you're not able to reach Knighthood or whatever, it's around 600. 600 gems plus 240. You're already in a decent area to make it for the banner, right? You're at what, 840? Okay. Now you add 85 over here. You're well over the number. You're well over the number at that point already, okay? So do keep in mind you have to reach 900. I'm giving so much breathing room and you still have time. The only thing is, and it's very true, you won't make it for the next banner. If the next banner is a collaboration, you're not making for it, right? Because again, after this is Gilda, but after that, which is 4 weeks, right? 4 weeks after, it could be a collaboration. It could be a Ragnarok unit. It could be a Catastrophe unit. It's one of those 3 things, all right? Whatever it is, if you're waiting till the last day to pull up all your summons, you're dead for that collab. You're dead for that. There's no way you'll make it, all right? Make sure that's clear. Keep that in mind. So if you are going for this festival unit, which he's a really good festival unit, you may have to dump into this and lose whatever's next, all right? But again, if you are on like the brink and these things, like let's say you can't do Hero Arena at all. Let's say you can't do some of these things at all. Remember, there are some things always in the end that you must be a new player if you can't do those things, where character affinity, storyline, and a lot of other stuff will come into play, all right? Character affinity, you can definitely affinity some characters up, do some affection farming, you can do that too. That will always help you at the end of the day. Character equipment, so SSR equipment, you can always level them up. Recently, I've been able to get about 6 gems a week, 100%. It's not that hard at all. With all the stamina pots you've been getting and all the rewards, all the awakening tokens, or awakening stones, you can easily get 6 a week, all right? So like if you were to up that number, you're getting way more. Do keep that in mind. If you're playing this game to full 100% completion, make sure you're doing Fort ZELDRIS wheel spins. Those also are there. So again, all of this combined together, right? Take this number right now and add it to what you got. Basically, by the very end, it's 953. So let's say you have 100 gems right now, add that to 953. That's the number. Take whatever you have right now and add 953 to it. That's what you'll have on the very last day of the festival. All right? I went through everything. I did all the math. There are fluctuation, right? So there may be some extra numbers in here because of Hero Arena, because of whatever. Just deduct those. Minus 10, minus whatever. And you'll get your number, right? So keep that in mind. But remember, I said 50 fluctuation. 50. So there is no way that you're losing out on 50 gems because again, there is a Labyrinth, there is a part 2, there is 4 more weeks of a festival, there's probably some sort of 10 gem event they'll throw in, there's some sort of events they'll also add in, correct? So I've given such a well done, in a way, I'm not patting myself on the back, but I give so much room to where you should be able to make it 100%, right? The guarantee is there unless you mess up everything, like you can't complete Hero Arena, like let's say you're getting 0, and again, there's no way you're getting 0, right? But let's say you are getting 0. That drops it already to 900. Now, there is Labyrinth, but let's say you can't clear Labyrinth. Then that number will keep dropping. But if you can do everything properly, you will be fine, all right? Labyrinth has to kick up soon. It will kick up after Hero Arena ends, which will still be in time before the banner leaves. There has to be some sort of final boss also kick up soon. But again, their payout is weird, so it may pay you out afterwards. I don't want to count that. But there is a lot of stuff you can get gems from, all right? At the end of the day, 5-starring equipment is always a thing that people can do. Getting a character affinity or affection up is something always you can do, unless you've 100% your entire account. Then maybe you can't, but SSR equipment you can always level up. You can always do extra missions when it comes to Fort ZELDRIS. Make sure you get those done. You can always do the wheel spin. That's some extra gems you can pull here and there, which do count also. And again, that's really it. All right, so at the end of the day, you should make it. I did also leave out some values here and there, like 8 gems for Final Boss, here and there, some Final Boss gems, some gems all over the place. So this is the best time I could give it to you, the best guide I could give. I'm telling you now, at 953, you should be good to go. At this point on global, I'm at 700. So 700 plus 1653 is what I'll be at. So basically, well, not plus, but 1653 is what I will be at. All right, so that's there. But yeah, that's what I'm gonna say is the gem guide here. You should be good. Pay to play, you'll be at 1664. Add that number, and you'll be good to go. All right, so keep that in mind. But yeah, that's the gem guide. Hope you enjoyed it, and hopefully it made sense to you.